Isang deklarasyon na yumanig sa mundo ng politika. Mga kababayan, hindi na nakapagpigil si Mayor Baste Duterte sa harap ng libu-libong taga-suporta. Sa isang emosyonal ngunit napakatapang na mensahe, binitawan ng alkalde ang mga salitang nagpapatindig balahibo sa kanyang mga kritiko, "We will reclaim this country and give it back to the people." Ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin nito? Ayon sa mga analyst, ito ay hindi lamang simpleng pahayag kundi isang hudyat ng pagbabalik ng tunay na boses ng masa. Habang ang mga nasa itaas ay nagpapakasasa sa kapangyarihan, si Mayor Baste ay tumatayo bilang boses ng mga nakakalimutan. Marami ang nagtatanong, ito na ba ang simula ng isang malaking pagbabago sa buong bansa? Sa kabila ng mga panggigipit, tila mas lalong tumitapang ang bunsong Duterte. Panoorin ang bawat detalye dahil ang mensaheng ito ay hindi lamang para sa Davao, kundi para sa bawat Pilipinong nagnanais ng tunay na hustisya.
Ng Petra Carabata, Attorney Sreli Tutorion, yan ho yan, suki sa Korte Suprema yan. At yung pinakahuling petisyon na isinampa niya dyan, yan ang dahilan kung bakit napasura yung impeachment na bandito kay BP Sara. Yung una, yung minadali nila, yung patong-patong na impeachment na ginawa nila, Attorney Sreli Tutorion, ang ika nga kumamada doon. Ngayon, kasama pa itong isa pang abogado di Campanilla na sigurado na yan. Sa 2028, talagang isa sa ating mga susuportahan. Attorney Vic Rodriguez, palakpakan ho natin. Ha? Maraming salamat. Talagang napakagandang napakagandang ika nga pangbungad na birthday birthday party para dito kay dating Pangulo Rodrigo Duterte. Balita natin, yung ating mga idolo nasa Davao City na. Tayo hindi makakabunta ngayon dahil meron ho tayong inaasikaso at aasikasuhin. No? Kaya kahit nandito ho tayo sa ating studio, happy birthday dating Pangulo Rodrigo Duterte. Happy birthday, Mayor President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Palakpakan ho natin si Tatay Ding. Di ba? Siya ho kasi yung nagbigay ng yung glimpse, yung sulyap. Di ba? Siya yun eh. Di ba? Kung wala si Tatay Digong, baka ngayon pa sway tayo. Hindi natin malaman kung ano nga ba talaga yung mga dapat gawin para magkaroon ng pagbabago sa ating bansa. No? Maraming salamat ating Pangulo Rodrigo Duterte. At dahil ho dyan sa petition na yan, siyempre kailangan sumagot ng mga magnanakaw sa congressman dyan sa inihain na petition na yan nitong si Attorney Sreli Tutorion at nitong si Attorney Vic Rodriguez. Tayo'y natutuwa, sa totoo lang, pag nakikita ho natin na merong ganitong galaw at yung mga individual na merong prinsipyo at paninindigan nagkakaisa sa mga ganitong klaseng bagay. Sobrang natutuwa ho tayo pag nakikita nating nagsasama-sama yung mga mga individual na yan. Ito, handang sagutin ng House Justice Committee ang hinihaing TRO petition laban sa impeachment proceeding ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Siguraduhin nyo, ha? Ganyan din sinabi nyo, di ba? Ganyan din yung narinig natin doon sa impeachment na binasura ng Korte Suprema. Di ba? Angas na angas kayong sasagutin namin yan. Kaya namin yan. Anak ng toka, maya-maya, ayun, binasura, unconstitutional, palakpakan. Kaya yung ginagawa nyo na yan, pagka nagka-TRO na naman yan, paano tayo tutuloy? Paano pagka sinabi na naman ng Korte Suprema na unconstitutional na naman ang ginawa nyo, di back to zero tayo ulit. O yan ang problema na naman natin dyan. O hold muna tayo sa impeachment. Wala muna kasi wala na, unconstitutional na ginagawa nila eh. Sila na ang complainant, sila na ang magpipresenta ng testigo, ebidensya, sila pa ang huhusga sa ebidensya at testigo, sila pa ang hahatol na i-impeach si BP Sara dyan sa House of Representatives. Di ba? Saan ho yung fairness doon? Sila lang ang makakapag-cross-examine sa mga witness, ebidensya o kung ano pa man. Si BP Sara hanggang ano lang siya. Oo, hindi, pwede. Ganun lang. Wala akong cross-examination na mangyayari. Tanungan blues lang ho siya dyan. Kaya yung isinampa na yan, itong sila Attorney Vic at itong si Attorney Sreli Tutorion. Saludo ho tayo dyan. Napakalupit na talagang dito sa isa na to, sa tingin natin, hindi na naman makakatulog itong si Bahulaw ngayong gabi. O, rekta ho tayo dito sa ano muna tayo, ika nga comedy muna tayo, okay? Ihanda nyo na ho ang inyong mga ulo dahil pasasakitin ho yan itong si Marcos Jr. So,
Yung ating tuloy na paghahanap ng supply.
anak ng tokwa, opening salvo pa lang. Yung ating tuloy kagad. Yung ating paghahanap patuloy. Kumpletuhin mo. Alam ko yung utak mo sinasabi niya na sinabi mo na yung mga salita na yon. Alam ko dahil bangag ka eh. Alam ko dahil damage na yung tuktok mo na yan eh. Sa kakapulburon mo eh. Nakakasira ho ng tuktok yan. Yung kakasinghot ng pulburon. Kaya tayo ho dito sa PH Update, kung sakaling nagrarap yung sintu-sintu na yan, hindi na ho tayo nagtataka. Nakakasira ng tuktok ang pinapasok niya sa utak niya.
Ay ng langis at saka mga produktong petroleum products. At sinabihan ako ng namamahala ng Petron, si Mr. Ramon Ang, na sa kasalukuyan, ang ating supply ay hanggang end of June, June 30.
Anak ng Petron Garapata. Pribadong sektor ang magsasabi sa atin kung gaano katagal at gaano karami ang ating supply. Hindi mali ho ata yun. Mali ho ata. Ibig sabihin, hindi talaga natin kontrolado. Kasi kung ano lang sabihin ng mga malalaking negosyante, yun lang ang ating nasa state of energy crisis. Hindi ba pwedeng tayo nang magsabi, tayo nang tumingin sa mga libro nila? Walang Ramon Ang, walang mga oligarko ang magsasabi kung gaano pa karami supply natin. Yung confidence, kaya yung confidence ng ating mga kababayan, nawawala sa gobyerno dahil sa mga ganyang klaseng kabangagan nitong si Marcos Jr.
30, kung may supply tayo hanggang June 30. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na titigilan na natin ang paghahanap pa. Lahat ng mapuntahan natin at makausap natin ay sinasabi natin maghahanap tayo kahit saan. At hindi lamang yung crude oil, kundi lahat ng produktong petrolyo, gasolina, diesel, kerosene, jet fuel, lahat yan ay naghahanap tayo sa buong mundo. Mabuti naman at
Naghahanap sa buong mundo. Worldwide searching ang nangyayari. Anak ng tawa ba? Pati ba sa Africa naghahanap tayo? Ganon, Mr. President, nakakatanga naman yung mga...
maganda ang relasyon natin sa ating mga naging kaibigan na iba't ibang bansa na kinakaibigan natin at malapit ang ating ang relasyon natin sa kanila. Pinagbibigyan naman tayo dun sa pagbigay ng supply dahil karamihan na oil producers ngayon ay hindi masyadong nag-export. Pero pinagbibigyan nga tayo, they give us special consideration and concessions para dito, kaya nandyan ang supply natin. Merong mga...
yung Sara Sky. Pambihira, ibinibida mo. Ang tinding pang tutrol ng ng Russia Matinding pang tutrol ho yun mga kababayan. Mantakin nyo sa dami-dami ng mga barkong pwede nilang ipadala. Ang pangalan pa ng barko, Sara Sky. Palakpakan. Pambihira.
Nagtatanong din kung ano yung mangyayari sa ASEAN Summit. Nagtanong kami sa lahat ng we have consulted with our counterparts in the other member states.
Cancel na yan. Anak ng toko, anong gagawin nyo dito? Ang gagawin nila dito, bangag yung presidente natin. Anong gagawin ng mga karating bansa natin dito sa Pilipinas? Anong pag-uusapan nila? Yung schedule mo ng pagpupulburon? Ibibida mo sa kanila kung paano katindi yung pangsinghot ng ginagawa mo? Ilang balik ba yan, Brad, pagka suminghot ka? Ha? Nakakailang balik ka ba? Napanood ko si Aklas di ba? Matindi yun. 10 balik yun. Ikaw, ilang balik ang kaya mo?
The 10 other member states. And the question that I asked them is very simple. Would you prefer...
Kaya mo bang magtanong ng complex question? Kaya mo ba? Kaya mo bang maglatag ng complex na tanong? Kaya simple lang yan, kasi yun lang ang kaya mo. Kung yung pa English mo lang, hindi porket nag-English ka, automatic malalim ka na. Huwag ko kayo maniwala doon. Napakalaking kabalbalan nun. Kaya si Tatay Digong, bihira mag-English yun eh. Kung pwede nga lang bisayain tayo nun, bibisayain tayo nun.
Because everybody's busy with the oil crisis that's going on because of the war in the Middle East. Would you like to postpone the ASEAN summit? The consensus that we came to is that it is precisely now that we must coordinate our efforts. So that is what we are going to do. Ipapatuloy natin yung ASEAN summit. Ngunit the way that we describe it is that we have it is a bare bones ASEAN summit. It's just we will be talking about three main subjects: about the supply of petroleum and petroleum products, about the supply of food and the price of food, and migrant workers. Those will be the three subject matters that we will be taking up in the ASEAN summit. It will be over a period of maybe a day and a half, imbes na yung mahaba all that we had planned. Lahat ng plinano natin, sabi ko, baka hindi naman ngayon ang panahon na masyadong elaborate ang ating preparasyon. Ang kailangan talaga sa panahon na ito ay makapag-usap kami mga leader upang malaman natin kung what do we do in the future, what do we do for the rest of the year, what do we do, how can we help each other, and what is the ASEAN position regarding all of these shocks that are coming our way. So that is yun ang nagiging usapan sa ASEAN. Tuloy tayo sa May 7, May 8, but as I said, it will be a very bare bones summit which will focus very closely on those three subject matters.
Ang dami pang angulo, naklantaw ka. Paulit-ulit naman, nakailang minuto ka na sa ASEAN, 6 minutes lang nga lang yung interview mo na yun, mababara mo pa sa ASEAN.
Oil, food, and migrant workers.
Sir, sa halip na dalawang leader summit, isa na lang po ba ang magiging leader summit?
Tingnan nyo ho, yung reporter tanong pa summit. Dami natin problema nyo, summit?
For this year?
Wala tayong, hindi natin na pinag-uusapan muna yung sa November. So sa ngayon, tentatively, tuloy pa yung sa November. Ginawa na namin. Tapos na yun. That's what. Siguro by September, October, magtatanong na tayo kung ano yung gustong gagawin ng yung mga ibang leader. Kung makarating man sila, etc. So, pero right now, we are focused on the summit in May.
Sir, may nananawagan na kongresista na bawasan po ang budget ng ASEAN. From 20, gawin na lang daw po 10. Yung 12 billion, ibigay na lang daw po dun sa mas nangangailangan yung apektado ng krisis. Ano po masasabi niyo, sir?
Ginawa na namin. Tapos na yun. That's why we did it. That's why we did this. That's exactly why we did it. One of the big reasons why we did this. Yeah.
Sir, what are your thoughts on the proposal to repeal the oil redegradation law and remove the VAT on fuel imports?
As I said before, nothing is being discounted. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng maaring gawin upang meron tayong magawa para tulungan na pagaangin ang epekto at nitong nangyari itong gera sa Middle East ay talagang pinag-uusapan namin. But what we are focused now is immediate. We will have to amend the older regulation. Mahaba pa ng discussion yan. I don't know when it will come out. So we are focused right now on the immediate, what we can do immediately. Kagaya nung sinabi ko sa statement ko, kung ano yung maaari nating paratingin kaagad na tulong sa taong bayan, yun ang aming ginagawa, yun ang namin pinag-iisipan ngayon. But as I said, kahit lahat ng maaring gawin, tinitignan namin, pinag-aaralan namin.
Okay,
Alright. Thank you, Mr. President.
Kagaya ng ating nanostra, anong ininostra natin dito sa PH Update? Walang humpay na pag-aaral. Yan yung pambubudol na yan ni Marcos Jr. Ano na ho, ika nga, wag na ho kayong tawag dito, magpaloko dyan sa budol-budol Marcos na yan. Wala akong gagawin yan kundi mag-aral. Puro aral, aral, aral. Gutom na sambay ng Pilipino, nag-aaral pa rin. Yung 20 pesos na bigas, mapahanggang sa, malamang sa malamang, mapahanggang sa ngayong mga panahon na to, pinag-aaralan pa rin ho niya. Ngayon, matatapos na termino niya, baka hindi pa ho niya tapos pinag-aaralan yan. Kasi ang pag-aaral ho niyan hindi natatapos. Nag-drop out nga yan Kaya wag na ho tayong umasa. Ika nga, dito sa administrasyon na to, wala ho tayong aasahan sa gobyerno. Ang pag-asa lang ho talaga natin, ang awa ng Diyos ng tadhana, ang may kapal. Awa na lang ho ng may kapal ang ating inaasahan dito. Di ba? Kung bigyan niya ho ng kaliwanagan ng kaisipan, matanggal ang kanyang kabangagan, ang pagpapasalamat ho doon, doon sa Diyos na lumikha. Di ba? Hindi siya kung kanino pa man. Dahil ngayong mga panahon na to, 3 taon na ho tayong binubudol ng walang yang administrasyon na to. Rerekta ho tayo ngayon dito sa presscon ng ating mga maiisug. Game!
That all branches of the government, including the legislative branch, afford the proper due process. But what we can see that is happening now in Congress, it's not even an overreach, a legislative overreach. It is a clear violation of the Constitution. We cannot speak of due process when we are violating the very due process that should be accorded to the respondent in the impeachment complaint. And again, as read in the opening statement by Attorney Torion, it was made very, very clear. We filed the petition in our capacity as Filipino citizens, taxpayer, in my case, as an officer of the court and as a member of the Integrated Bar. Nakikita namin na talagang linalapastangan ng saligang batas. We have to have a basic understanding of what the Constitution is. The Constitution is the supreme and fundamental law of the land, to which all laws, regulation, and contracts must conform, even the acts of those who are in government and outside of the government. And again, during the opening statement read by Attorney Torion, it was made very, very clear what is sauce for the gander should be the sauce for the goose. Meaning, kung ano ang sukatan binigay mo kay Bongbong Marcos, ganun din dapat ang sukatan mo na ibinibigay kay Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. Because falling short of that very same standard that they have used and observed just a few weeks back, then you are violating the equal protection of the law. Anong pagkakaiba ng Presidente sa Vice President? And we will not allow, again, as private citizens, as taxpayers, as Filipino citizens, as officer of the court, as member of the Philippine Bar, we will not allow any blatant institution. And finally, this is from my personal take on why I joined as petitioner in this petition for certiorari and prohibition. We are witnessing an excessive, malevolent, wanton waste of public funds. Krisis na tayo Imbis na tugalan, yung naghihirap na kababayan, impeachment pa rin. Buti sana kung totoo. Kung meron man dapat ma-impeach, and I say this in front of you, it should be Bongbong Marcos and other.
Saludo,
Any
saludo.
other follow-up question po?
Attorney, for instance,
Ma'am, can you approach the mic stand so that audible din po sa lahat, since we also have other friends of the media na listening sa Zoom. Thank you.
Attorney Fano, for my first question, for instance, what if it will not granted the TRO? What is our next step?
That is very speculative, no? I will confer with my fellow petitioners if that will not be granted. Certainly, there will be remedies and we will be availing those remedies. And we are confident that after our conference, we will be able to choose the best remedy that is best for a country likewise.
Any other questions?
I would like to add to the comment of Attorney Torion. The TRO or an injunction is not determinative as to the result of this petition. The court may not proceed with the TRO, but it may decide to rule later on the prayers of the petition. So, it is the choice of the court if it wants to grant the TRO or it wants to deliberate on the matter and decide later on. Now, I would like to add to the comment of Attorney Vic regarding equal protection of the laws. No? Under Article 3, Section 1 of the Philippine Constitution, all persons similarly situated must be treated alike under the law. If the Committee of Justice of the House of Representatives were liberal in their approach to the impeachment complaint against President Marcos, they cannot change the rule of the game and be strict in its applications against VP Sara. Example, during the study of the case against President Marcos, were there any issue as to a demand to subpoena the bank account of President Marcos? Baka may makita tayong maraming pera kung isinabina yung account ni President Marcos. Were there not any attempts to likewise expand the subpoena Marcos, the immediate family? Baka may makita rin tayong maraming pera sa mga kamag-anak niya. Were there also attempt to expand the subpoena to look into the sum-end of all the relatives in government of President Marcos? Bakit kay VP Sara lang? That is one major point in this petition. The equal protection clause of the Constitution must be respected. It cannot apply only against VP Sara if it has not been applied by the House of Representatives to a prior respondent in the person of President Marcos. Thank you.
Just a quick so that the public can really have a grasp of what we are talking about here. What Attorney Vic Rodriguez was referring to vis-a-vis the Equal Protection Clause and explained further by Attorney J.B. Hinlo was the ruling of the Committee on Justice before about the impeachment complaint against President Marcos. They issued Committee Resolution 111. And accordingly, according to the committee, the complaint against President Marcos was insufficient in substance and therefore it was dismissed because it lacked ultimate facts which would describe the complaint as amounting to the crimes that are described under the 1987 Constitution as impeachable, such as graft and corruption, grave violation of the 1987 Constitution, bribery, other high crimes, etc. So, since the complaints there did not amount to ultimate facts describing the complaints as those crimes, similar to those crimes, or exactly those crimes mandated or described in the 1987 Constitution, then therefore, the case was dismissed. Kaya dito, ganun din eh. Ganun din ang nangyari, walang ultimate facts na mag-describe sa mga kaso na
Hindi lang ho gumagalaw yung video pero ano yan, tuloy-tuloy lang. Medyo naglalag lang ho yung video pero yung audio tuloy-tuloy ho.
Ang corruption na yun kay VP Sara mismo, grave violation of Constitution na yun, other high crimes na yun, iwala eh. Kaya nga, sinasabi namin that
May sumili pa. Hindi pa ho natin pag-uusapan yung mga
what is good for the gander should likewise be good for the goose. And dismiss nyo doon kay Presidente Marcos. Dapat dito rin kay VP Sara. I-dismiss ninyo. Eh, doon kay Presidente Marcos, hindi nga kayo nag-issue ng mga sabpina eh. Dito, mga sabpina ninyo, maski mga tao walang kinalaman doon sa impeachment complaint, pinapasabpina. Anong klase yan? Pati law firms, pinapasabpina. Pati yung mga ibang mga entities na hindi described sa complaint, pinapasabpina. That is overreach to our mind. And by the way, we are joined by Attorney Wendell Abisado and Attorney ating pong kaibigan, no? Si Attorney James Reserva of Butuan. Why? Because some people intend to later on.
Wala na ho tayong maraming segue dahil ika nga gusto ho nating namnamin ang sasabihin ng ating ika nga mga kapanalig dito sa issue na to ng impeachment at kung anong klaseng kabulbula ng mga pinagagawa nila dyan sa House of Representatives. Wala na ho tayong maraming segue.
Thank you very much, Attorney Torion. We have questions here from the media. We have Hector Lawas from abogado.com.ph for Attorney Torion. Is the petition premature in as much as the camp of VP Sara says that the proper forum is the Senate and not the House Committee on Justice?
No, it's not premature. Specifically in this case, that the Committee on Justice already decided to issue a subpoena, and subpoena has in fact been issued. And therefore, we have the right to inquire as to whether or not it is within the power of the House of Representatives, specifically Committee on Justice, to conduct such investigation in such a manner as to in fact search for evidences when these evidences are not even attached in the complaint itself. The duty of the Committee on Justice, to our humble mind, is that it is a constitutional task to actually be the investigator itself and look for evidences in order to strengthen the case. They never did that to President Marcos. Why do it against VP Sara Duterte? That's an equal protection clause matter that deserves to be raised to the Supreme Court as the highest court of the land.
If I may add, sa sinabi ng Attorney Torion, alam mo ninyo, the reason why we go to the Supreme Court and file this petition for certiorari of prohibition, precisely because we are asking the court to intervene and allocate constitutional boundaries to this legislative overreach. Sumusunod side of the constitutional law, the House Committee, the House of Representatives Committee on Justice is already operating outside of the constitutional orbit. That is why we have decided, when they started issuing subpoena, to go to the Supreme Court. There is no other place, simple and adequate remedy in the ordinary course. It is to specify the certiorari and prohibition.
Thank you very much, Attorney Vic. Yes, a question from the floor. Good afternoon. Pang from Third Floor Studio. Do you expect that
Pumila to Busy.
the House's procedural process in handling the Vice President's impeachment? And what if they argue that your initiative is political, given that the PDP brand is strongly reflected in your composition? First question is, do you expect this filing to test the veracity of the House's procedural process?
Not just to test, but to strike down this legislative overreach. That is the primary purpose. We are not here to test the constitutional process being observed in the House of Representatives. It is our position that there is a clear violation of the Constitution. And that is why, again, we ran to the Supreme Court precisely for the court to intervene and allocate constitutional boundaries in this burning issue that we are all dealing with today. For the second
question is, what if they argue that your initiative is political, given that the PDP brand is strongly reflected in your composition?
Well, it's up to them. As sila rin naman lagi nagsasabi na yung
Malupit yung tanong na yun. Malupit yung tanong na
impeachment
yun.
process is more political than legal, which is also wrong. Because in the decision of then by Senior Associate Justice Mavicyonen, while acknowledging that impeachment is a sui generis, sinabi rin doon malinaw that it is not exclusively political.